Welcome back to Kunzy Podcast English, where every story doesn't just teach you English, it helps you understand life on a deeper level. Part 1. From Poverty to Royalty. The journey of Louis Vuitton from humble beginnings. Louis Vuitton is not just a world-renowned fashion brand. It is the story of resilience, the power of belief in oneself, and a journey from a poor boy to becoming a symbol of sophistication and prestige. To truly understand this extraordinary journey, we must look back at Louis's early struggles when he had nothing but a burning desire and an unwavering belief in his future. When Louis Vuitton left his poor village and came to Paris, a city of luxury and limitless opportunities, he carried nothing with him. Paris, for Louis, was not a paradise. It was an opportunity, a springboard to start anew, to rebuild his life from the ground up. This was a daring decision, because he knew that the road ahead would not be easy. However, what mattered was that he did not fear it. In fact, he was not just fearless, but saw it as an opportunity to prove himself. Even though he had no money, Louis possessed an invisible strength, his belief in his ability to change his destiny. The first days in Paris were far from easy, and Louis had to work under skilled craftsmen. He did not merely learn from them the techniques of trunk making, but he learned a deeper, more valuable lesson. Difference is the key to success. Every trunk that Louis made was not just a container, but a work of art, a product that reflected elegance, sophistication, and status. In his eyes, every trunk was not just a functional object, but a symbol of creativity and identity. He refused to make ordinary trunks. He was determined to create something that went beyond all norms. This boldness helped Louis Vuitton assert his place right from the beginning of his career. Louis's relentless effort soon captured the attention of the elite clientele. These were people not merely seeking quality, but those who wanted unique trunks that reflected their status and prestige. And Louis, with his creativity, was able to meet this demand. He started designing trunks with unique features, such as a flat bottom design, which made transportation far easier than the traditional rounded trunks. This was a revolutionary step in design, but it also marked a complete innovation in the production and usage of trunks. Louis's trunks were not only aesthetically pleasing, but also more practical, making them indispensable to the elite. And this helped Louis Vuitton dominate the market. In 1854, Louis opened his first store in Paris at 4 Rue Neuve des Capucines. This was not just a shop to sell trunks, but a creative space where customers could experience an entirely new way of life. It was here that Louis introduced one of his most groundbreaking creations, the flat-bottomed trunk, which made transportation much easier than the traditional rounded trunks. This bold move was a key turning point, opening the door for Louis Vuitton to become a beloved and respected brand worldwide. Not long after, Louis Vuitton's trunks became symbols of luxury, sophistication, and prestige. Wealthy people from all over the world flocked to Paris to buy Louis's unique creations. In no time, the Louis Vuitton brand became not just a name, but a symbol of a lavish, powerful, and successful lifestyle. Louis Vuitton trunks, bags, and luggage became indispensable items in the lives of the rich, and were so highly coveted that they became symbols of status. This rapidly helped Louis Vuitton build a strong empire. However, Louis Vuitton's journey to success was not all smooth sailing. He faced not only fierce competition from other industry players, but also had to contend with many unforeseen challenges, including strong opposition from those who were loyal to traditional methods. Despite this, Louis never gave up. He understood that achieving change and success would always involve hardships, but he was determined that no difficulty would stop him. One of the most significant breakthroughs in Louis Vuitton's career came in 1858, when he invented the canvas trunk, replacing the heavy wooden trunks that had previously dominated the market. The new trunk was not only lighter, but also more durable, making transportation easier without compromising the aesthetic or durability of the product. This revolutionary step in the luggage industry cemented Louis Vuitton's place in history. Louis Vuitton was not just a master trunk maker. He was a relentless innovator, always seeking new ways to elevate his brand. Every new product he introduced carried the mark of creativity, not just meeting customer needs, but aiming to create true masterpieces. Louis Vuitton's bags, suitcases, and fashion accessories were not just beautiful. They were items that expressed brilliance and class in every detail. Throughout his career, Louis Vuitton continued to expand his business network, not just in Paris, but across Europe and later to the entire globe. This growth was not just about commercial success, but about building a true empire, with a philosophy that was deeply inspiring. Creativity is the key to immortality. This belief helped him create a timeless empire, constantly evolving and growing despite any challenges that came his way. Today, although Louis Vuitton passed away in 1892, the legacy he left behind lives on. Every Louis Vuitton bag, suitcase, or trunk carries not just his name, but a profound reminder that with faith, perseverance, and endless creativity, anyone can turn their dreams into reality and overcome any adversity to achieve success. Part 2. The ambition to conquer the world. Louis Vuitton and the revolution in the luxury fashion industry. Louis Vuitton is not just a renowned name in the world of fashion. It is a vibrant symbol of ambition, ceaseless creativity, and a strong belief in the power of change to transform lives. Behind this iconic brand lies an inspiring story of perseverance, passion, and relentless determination to rise from hardship and assert its position on the global fashion map. To truly understand the greatness of Louis Vuitton, we must explore his journey, full of challenges and obstacles, from his humble beginnings to the creation of a global luxury empire, and the revolution he initiated within the high-end fashion industry. A humble beginning and a revolutionary vision. Louis Vuitton was born into a poor family in a small village in France, where there was little more than a dim and difficult future. Yet from a young age, he harbored a great dream, not only to escape poverty, but also to change the world in which he lived. With a heart full of passion and a curiosity that never ceased, Louis decided to leave his hometown at the age of 14. Heading to Paris in search of opportunities. This glamorous city would become the fertile ground where he could start over, build his career, and chase his dreams. Paris, with its allure and captivating beauty, was not an easy place to survive. Without money and connections, Louis only had a strong belief in himself and his ability to create. His early days in Paris were far from easy. He worked tirelessly under the mentorship of skilled craftsmen, learning every technique and detail of trunk making. But within him, a powerful ambition began to take shape. Not only to create ordinary products but to make a difference, to craft items that were not merely practical but works of art. This was the first step in the revolution that Louis Vuitton would start. The discovery of innovation. From wooden trunks to canvas trunks. After years of learning and honing his skills, Louis created his first revolutionary trunk in 1854. At his first shop in Paris. This trunk featured a flat-bottom design, unlike the traditional round trunks of the time, which not only made it easier to transport, but also gave it a fresh, modern feel. This was a bold and creative move, but it marked the beginning of Louis Vuitton's dominance in the market. Louis's trunks were not just products. They were symbols of luxury and status, bearing a unique mark that no one could replicate. Louis's creativity didn't stop there. He continued to develop and innovate, creating trunks made from canvas instead of wood, making them lighter, more durable, and especially easier to transport. Louis Vuitton was not only a master craftsman, but also a pioneer, constantly thinking of ways to improve his products and services, always looking to elevate the customer experience. Notably, Louis created a unique shopping environment in his store, where every customer could feel the sophistication and elegance of each product. This was not just an ordinary store. It was a sanctuary for those who appreciated perfection, a place where they could experience the difference, the novelty, and the beauty that Louis Vuitton offered. Building a great brand. Louis Vuitton and the revolution of luxury fashion. It didn't take long for the Louis Vuitton brand to become a symbol of sophistication and status. High society from all over the world flocked to Paris to own Louis's trunks, bags, and accessories. His products were not merely functional but also status symbols, signifying wealth, class, and lifestyle. Louis Vuitton sparked a frenzy in the fashion industry, and his trunks quickly became not just fashion items, but symbols of the great ambition of those daring to dream and conquer challenges. One of the key factors in Louis Vuitton's overwhelming success was his ability to continuously improve and innovate in every detail. He understood that in order to maintain his position and leave a lasting impression in the luxury fashion industry, He could not stop at the initial achievements. The world was constantly changing, and Louis always had to keep up with trends, while simultaneously setting new ones. This was evident not only in his product innovations, but also in his business strategy. Louis Vuitton didn't just stop at creating trunks and luggage. He expanded into other product lines, including bags, wallets, and luxury accessories. Each product not only fulfilled customer needs, but was crafted as a work of art, offering its owners not only convenience, but also a sense of pride in their status. Louis Vuitton bags became symbols of elegance and style, each carrying a story and pride for its owner. Exploring Louis Vuitton's grand philosophy. Louis Vuitton's success was not just due to the incredible products he created, but also due to the philosophy he applied in his life and work. He always believed that creativity is the key to survival and growth in a constantly changing world. For Louis, nothing was impossible, and every challenge could be overcome with enough passion, patience, and determination. This philosophy not only helped Louis Vuitton overcome the hardships of life, but also allowed him to build a timeless empire. For him, perfection in every product was non-negotiable. Every bag, every suitcase, every accessory had to be made from the finest materials, with the utmost attention to detail. This commitment to quality and innovation was the cornerstone of his brand's success. Louis Vuitton wasn't just a fashion manufacturer. He was a revolutionary in the high-end fashion industry, paving the way for other luxury brands. He proved that nothing was impossible if we dared to dream and take action. The legacy he left behind is not only reflected in the iconic products he created, but also in the belief that anyone, no matter where they start, can reach any height and conquer all challenges to achieve extraordinary things. The timeless legacy of Louis Vuitton. A global empire today, Louis Vuitton is not just a brand, it is a grand empire. His products continue to be adored and revered around the world. The Louis Vuitton brand is not only synonymous with luxury goods, but also represents creativity, individuality, and the strength to overcome any challenge. His legacy lives on in every bag, suitcase, and trunk, reminding us that with belief in ourselves, any dream can become a reality. Louis Vuitton didn't just change the fashion industry, he changed how we view what can be achieved. His legacy is proof that, no matter where you start, as long as you have passion, creativity, and persistence, you can reach any height and overcome any obstacle to achieve the extraordinary. Part 3. Life Lessons. Louis Vuitton and His Grand Steps. The story of Louis Vuitton, from a poor boy in rural France to the founder of the illustrious Louis Vuitton empire, is not only a testament to his talent, but also to a powerful and resilient life philosophy. Louis Vuitton's life is not one of luck or coincidence. It is a journey full of effort, passion, and an unwavering desire to rise from poverty, confront and overcome countless challenges. His story also brings invaluable life lessons, showing us that talent alone does not lead to success. It is the ability to overcome adversity, relentless creativity, and belief in oneself that makes all the difference. A difficult beginning, the courage to step into the world. Louis Vuitton was not born into a wealthy family, nor did he have the privilege of an easy education like others. This is why it is easy to understand why he was able to overcome so many hardships to achieve monumental success. Louis, as a young boy, had to face poverty and scarcity. But what stands out is that instead of succumbing to his circumstances, Louis chose a path full of challenges and hardships. He did not accept a life of complacency. Instead, he sought out opportunities to change his life. At the age of 14, Louis left his poor family behind to seek his fortune in Paris. Paris was a large city, but for a boy from a small rural village, it was a daunting challenge. However, no one could have imagined that these first steps in this vast city, although fraught with difficulties, would become the solid foundation for a brilliant future. What is significant here is Louis's courage to take a risk. One could stop when faced with difficulty, but a truly talented person sees challenges as opportunities. Louis Vuitton, despite his youth, understood that to achieve greatness, he had to dare to walk the difficult path. He entered Paris not with a pocket full of money, but with belief in himself and an unyielding desire to learn. Discovering talent, learning and creating. Upon arriving in Paris, Louis faced not only financial difficulties, but also a completely new environment. However, What makes his story special is his keen insight and exceptional ability to learn. Louis joined workshops, where he not only learned the trade, but also gained essential lessons about technique and creativity. In a short amount of time, he became skilled in making trunks. And more importantly, he began to realize that it wasn't just craftsmanship that would set him apart, but also creativity and innovation in his products. Louis was never satisfied with merely making ordinary trunks. Instead of creating traditional trunks, he sought to improve them and transform them into true works of art. He realized that consumers, especially the upper class, didn't just need trunks to store things. They also needed them to reflect luxury and status. This understanding drove Louis to create trunks with flat-bottom designs, replacing the traditional round ones. And in doing so, he opened a new chapter in the luxury luggage industry. Unyielding spirit, relentless perseverance. Louis Vuitton's talent wasn't just evident in his creativity, but also in his perseverance. Throughout his career, he faced not only financial hardships, but also fierce competition from others in the industry. Many times, Louis faced resistance from people who were accustomed to traditional methods and were unwilling to change. However, Louis never gave up, no matter how great the obstacles. One example of Louis's perseverance is when he invented the canvas trunk, replacing the traditional wooden trunks. This decision was not an easy one. Louis had to face skepticism from customers and industry peers, but he was determined to pursue his idea, understanding that only creativity and innovation could help him grow and create a unique product. And indeed, his canvas trunk became a revolutionary product in the luxury luggage industry, garnering significant attention and acclaim. Building a brand and a global empire with his talent and perseverance, Louis Vuitton didn't just create high-end products, but also built a powerful and enduring brand. His success story was not just about trunks or handbags. It was about his visionary goal to create a global luxury empire, transcending all limits. Louis Vuitton was not merely a craftsman. He was a creative visionary and a brilliant businessman who elevated his brand to new heights, taking it from a small shop in Paris to the global stage. Louis never stopped innovating and growing his brand. Every new product Louis Vuitton launched carried a mark of creativity, uniqueness, and distinction. From trunks to handbags, luggage, and fashion accessories, every product was meticulously crafted, not just to meet needs, but to satisfy the sophisticated tastes of customers. Over time, the Louis Vuitton brand became synonymous with luxury, elegance, and prestige. Life lessons, talent, and unceasing passion. The story of Louis Vuitton is a clear reminder that talent alone is not enough to achieve success. What matters more is the ability to persevere and overcome challenges. Louis Vuitton proved that no matter where you come from, with passion, desire, and creativity, you can reach new heights. He also showed that nothing is impossible if you have the passion and are willing to fight for your goals. Louis Vuitton's life is a great lesson for all of us. If you're facing difficulties in life, don't let them stop you from chasing your dreams. Learn from Louis, who turned every adversity into an opportunity and proved that talent only truly thrives when you are persistent, creative, and never give up. Thank you for listening. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications of the next videos.